All right. What we're going to try and talk about today is basically something called and proportions, and we're going to learn how to do that to solve um, problems. And we're going to use this skill called cross multiplication. Cross multiplication. Now, let's use a scenario that you can probably identify. Um, to make a burger, you need how many slices, or yeah, to make a sandwich. Let's just say make a regular sandwich, ham sandwich. How many slices of bread would you need, and how many slices of ham would you, let's just say, you will need? Yes, two. Okay, good. So to make a ham sandwich, so let's just say you need two slices of bread plus one slice of ham. That gives you, this is a very plain sandwich, one ham sandwich, right? So, in some ways, the proportion of bread to ham would be a 2-to-1 ratio. Are we good? Now, so let's just say when I look into my bread cupboard this morning, I only find 8 slices of bread. Okay. So in this case, how many slices of ham would I need to make sandwiches and use all of that up? Four. How did you get that?
Uh, so if you have 8 slices of bread, that makes four
Okay.
sandwiches.
4 sandwiches.
And to
Now,
make a sandwich, you need a slice of ham. So if you have four uh, portions of bread to make a sandwich, then you need four.
okay. So in this case, we're going to use this proportion. Now, I'm going to teach you guys a technique called cross multiplication. Cross multiplication is quite useful simply because you're going to use it quite a lot, not just in math here, this one, but I know that I'm teaching chemistry, grade 11 chemistry, and a lot of times you have to be able to do cross multiplication. Okay, so in this case, we're going to figure out how to solve this problem. So let's just say the number of slices of ham we need, let's just call it x. Let's just call it x. Okay, slices of ham needed to use up all the slices of bread to make sandwiches. Okay? So in this case, now according to the notes, there are many ways to do it, but according to the handout, you convert them into fraction form. So we're going to also do the same thing. So 2-to-1, when you're in fraction form, what do you have? When you change 2-to-1 into fraction form, what do you have? Which one go on top? Which one go on the bottom? Yes,
You need 2/1.
2/1. Good. Okay. So remember, when you have fraction form, the second term becomes a denominator. So it will be 2-to-1. Now, because we have to follow the same proportion as 2-to-1, you put an equal sign. Okay, you're going to put an equal sign. You put an equal sign because you have to follow this proportion. That's why you put an equal sign here. Now, you also put this other ratio in fraction form. Again, we don't know what x is, but x is our second term, so we're going to put it on the bottom. And you put on 8 on the top. Okay? So we convert that in fraction form. Okay? Now, when you do cross multiplication, what you do is this. You basically go across the equal sign. So this term on the bottom here will multiply the term of the numerator on the opposite side. So you have 8 times 1 equal this top term 2 multiplied the bottom term x here. 2 times x. Okay. So cross multiplication, again, you basically go across the equal sign, but the bottom term for one side multiply the top term for the other side, and same thing on the other way. Same thing on the other way around. The top term from one side multiply the bottom term of the other side. So 8 times 1 is, yes, 8. Good. So 8 equals 2x. 2 times x is 2x. Now we're going to just swap everything around just because we like having x on the left-hand side, even though it doesn't make any difference. Okay. So when you swap both left and right, everything together, you don't need to change side. So 2x equals 8. Now 2 times x equals 8. So how do you get just x by itself? How can you get rid of this 2? What would be opposite of multiplication? Division. Okay. So 2 times x, so you do an opposite of that. So you would do 2 times x divided by 2. Divided by 2. And whatever you go do on one side of the equal sign, you must also do it on the other side of the equal sign. So 8 also divided by 2. Okay. So 2 divided by 2 will give you 1. So you have x. 8 divided by 2, that will give you 4. Right? So now you will need 4 slices of ham to use up all those slices of bread to make a ham sandwich. How are we doing? Okay, so let's do something that is not where the ratio is not as obvious. Right now it's like 2 to 1, and then so 8 to whatever. Let's do something that's not as obvious. So if you look at our handout, okay, they gave an example right here. Each day, an elephant eats 5 pounds of food for every 100 pounds of its body weight. Okay. So how much does a 9,300 pound or 9,300 pound elephant eat each day? Okay. So same idea. Let's write down the ratio, right? So you need 5 pounds of food, 5 pounds of food for every 100-pound elephant weight. How much does a 9,300 pound elephant, how much does it need to eat each day? So again, we'll use x because we have no clue. Okay, so x again. Let x be the amount of food it needs. Okay? So again, we change this into fraction form. The first ratio, 5 to 100, we change that into fraction form. So in this case, what will it look like on the fraction form? What goes on top, what goes on bottom? Yes?
5 over 100.
5 over 100. That's good. Now again, because how much food this 9,300-pound elephant needs have to go with this ratio. So in this case, we put an equal sign here. Now we take this and change it into fraction form. So x will be on top, 9,300 will be on the bottom. Okay. So again, we're going to do cross multiplication. Bottom term on one side, multiply the top term of the other side. So 100 will multiply x equals the top term from this side will multiply the bottom term of the other side. 5 times 9,300. Okay? So 100 times x will give you 100x equals 5 times 9,300. Let's take out the calculator. That will be 46500. Okay, 46500. So 100 times x, we don't know what x is, gives you 46500. So in order to find just one x, what do you need to do? What would be the, again, yes? Divide. So 100x will divide it by what? What divided by, when you're 100, you divide it by something, it's going to give you 1. What would that something be? 100. Okay. Whatever divided by itself will give you 1. So this here will give you 1. Now, since you divide this side by 100, you must also do the same thing on the other side. So 46500 divided by 100, that really is just getting rid of the 2 decimal place. So you have 465. Okay, 1x will be 465. So if you look earlier, our question was x will be how much food it needs. Therefore, the elephant will need 465-pound food each day. How are we doing so far? So cross multiplication is a good way, and it is a very easy way for you to say, oh, I have something that follows a certain proportion. I know what one of the item would be, but we still have to follow the same proportion. So how do you find that missing piece of information? Okay. So I'm going to stop the video here. And then